Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Christmas calendar with Captain Future, day 24, the Christmas Eve edition. Today, here in Sweden, we have celebrated Christmas. We actually celebrate for 3 days here in Sweden: Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and second day Christmas. But Christmas Eve, the first day of this, are the main celebration actually around Christmas here. It is the day when we get together with family and friends and eat Christmas dinner. We do the mandatory exchange of Christmas gifts, mostly for the children, but some of us do very hefty Christmas giving, and we don't see this slowing down ever. It's also during today we watch animated cartoons, 3 o'clock in Sweden, Kalle Anka, Donald Duck from Walt Disney, such as Mowgli. We watch Cinderella, we watch Robin Hood, and such short stories. We have done this in 1960, and we don't see this tradition ever ending. And also, as pointed out today, many Swedes eat hefty Christmas dinner before Donald Duck, and that means we get very sleepy during this hour in the sofa. So many of us slumber too, or actually fall asleep. I have been slumbering and falling asleep to Donald Duck since I was 15, at least, I think. Yes. And today also ended a fantastic Christmas calendar on Swedish state television, SVT, about Selma and her Christmas Carol and finding the magical kingdom of Santa Claus way north in Svalbard, with the steampunk airship adventure type Christmas jolly spirit celebration with little elves. This is by far the best Christmas carol and Christmas calendar that have been on television so far. I think it's just the very best. It's so many good celebration and the magical storytelling fairy tale bit, and the celebration of being kind also, because kindness is today's topic, and joyful kindness. I started this calendar day one with talking about being nice, and now we talk about the other kind of kindness, being kind from being nice. Yes, well, pun intended. Yes, and being kind and joyful and such, and it's a so very good thing to do. You are responsible for the energy you bring into the room, Brene Brown says, and by that I've talked about this in several episodes. I think this is by far the most important takeaway and skill and learning we should take with us going into the future. Bringing positive energy and joyfulness and creativity and innovation and all the positive things that make us solve our future problems and get better and more creative and innovative. Of course, we shouldn't go happy-go-lucky and joyful silly like I tend to use. I go very good, very silly most of the time, because I think we have too little silliness. But we shouldn't have too much silliness either, because there are some serious problems and some serious challenges and quests and endeavors we're gonna take, and we're gonna actually go to Mars and survive our unknown planet and such. And of course, with the serious science and calculations, we can't be silly all the time, but most of the time, bringing joyful silliness into a relationship or group or tribe or anything, or your whole city or nation state or the whole earth. Why should we be kind to the earth, planet Earth? I talked about that in the Spaceship Earth episode. What have Spaceship Earth ever done for us? Yeah, try surviving without it, I say. In the cold vacuum of space, where only androids and robots can survive. No, actually, yes, we should be kind to that. And kindness always pays back. And we should avoid getting into negative, stressful relationships or energy thieves, the vampires that suck the energy from every room they enter. They complain and are grumpy and angry and such. And of course, we all are humans, so it's very easy for all of us to enter this vampire state, energy draining state. And if we're stressed out or angry or lost our job, or now at Christmas when everything has to go perfect to plan, and then the kids or I ruin it by forgetting the salmon at home, or someone else forgot the presents and we have to go back and get them because the dinner starts in 15 minutes, and that's when it's the most effective to be calm and joyful and silly, because stressing out, you will only get worse relationship, and you won't get any faster. You won't fix any problems and such. So trying to keep the joyful Christmas spirit going into tomorrow, Christmas Day, and onwards the next year, I think is the number one skill and talent we have to practice at being present, mindfulness, the being aware of our own thoughts, being aware of your awareness, mindfulness. That now I'm getting to get stressed out and angry and walk away from a situation or disarm it or talk about it, at least to yourself, an inner dialogue about what you're feeling and thinking. And of course, this applies to joyfulness and silly Western too. And except when you go into deep flow, because then it's very hard to be mindful about your own self. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think when I go into deep flow when I'm playing board, the whole world disappears. I can't think about anything about the actual situation. But I'm full of pumped up of positive energy and such at the same time. And so, well, I want to explore this area a lot more. The energy, the social field between people. Like when you go to a very positive conference and a meetup and everyone is so excited before and during the event, everyone is so joyful and excited, and afterward this is the best event in your whole life and such. And that energy and social field is, I think, going to solve a lot of challenges and problems and are good for innovation. So that's one of my main focuses, using positive energy and silliness going into the future. And that rhymes so well with Christmas, my favorite part of the year. I love Christmas and the jolly of it, and I will be very mindful about my jolliness going into the future as well. So be kind, be jolly. I'm gonna talk. There are 2 more episodes coming up for Christmas Day and Second Day Christmas in this calendar. I think I want to mention my 2 most important subjects, like the many me I will talk about, and then I will talk about prototyping the future, but that will be the theme of next year going into the future and all events and all the things that are going to happen. I think that could be a fairly long episode, but I want to get everything straight. And also I promise talking about our Christmas traditions as Christmas food here. We drink something called julmust, Christmas must. It's a very sugary drink with a musty flavor, black like cola, but doesn't taste like cola. Also, we eat, the old tradition is to eat herring, raw herring. I don't eat herring, but I eat cold smoked salmon with enris, the little pine bush that is very distinct flavor. That's my favorite Christmas food, and there are lots of others. So we eat meatballs, and we eat ham, and we eat all kinds of cabbage, green cabbage, red cabbage, white cabbage, and such. And we eat a lot of cheese, and we eat eggs, and we eat ribs. Ribs is one of my favorites, and many people like potato dish with anchovies in, called Janssons frestelse. I don't try to eat too much potato and bread, but because it will fill up my stomachs and leave no room for the meatballs and the salmon. But I also like a dark, very sweet bread called wörtbröd with raisins in it. That's my favorite bread. I eat that a lot with salmon on it and such. So that's a little bit about the food as well, like I promised. And please tell me about your joyful Christmas experience, and or not so joyful experience. Like, of course, I've been very sad, like I mentioned before. My mother passed away this autumn in November, and this is the first Christmas without any of my parents. So I've been very sad in the upcoming week. But today I did okay because I had my daughters and my family, and we had actually joyful Christmas without still. But of course I cried sometimes today, and yeah, it makes me sad just thinking about it. But we went to my my spouse parents. So we actually had my daughter's two other grandparents are alive. So we were celebrating Christmas here, and you can see their God Jul, Merry Christmas behind me. It's their kitchen I'm sitting in right now in Kinna in Sweden. Yeah. So that's for me, Captain Future, the joyful Christmas spirit we all celebrate. So see ya tomorrow and see ya in the future and bring you joyful spirits. Bye everybody from Captain Future.